Hey guys, today I just wanted to go over a few things and touch base on, ways to find motivation and utilizing this time appropriately, because we don't know how long it's going to last. We have been told a multitude of different dates and ideas for what lies ahead in the future. But one of the biggest things that I want to touch on is staying motivated and how to, maintain that motivation throughout this period. And one of the things that, I particularly lean heavily on is, reaching back into I guess my memory bank to times where, there was naysayers or people that may have talked down upon or, anything to me, I look at like the negativity as like almost like positive fuel. Whereas before, years and years ago, it may have brought me down or sank the ship. It's now one of the best tools and motivators that I find to just keep moving forward and just keep looking for opportunities out there. And, it gives you a reason to get off the couch. If someone challenges you and you're a competitive person or you have that nature about you, there's nothing worse or nothing better, I should say, than someone saying you can't do this or, yeah, I'd like to see you try. And then you get up and you take action. That's one huge motivator that I find that has helped me tremendously. Another one is obviously if you have a family, kids, being a role model for them and, getting up off the couch and seeking opportunity again, as I mentioned before. Because you want your kids to, they're monkey see, monkey do. So if you're out there hustling, getting after it, whether you're taking care of your body, your mind, whatever it is, they're watching all the time. So don't just say it, do it. You know what I mean? If you're saying, oh, you got to eat healthy, you got to work out, you got to do all these things, whatever it is, don't just speak, be. So take action, show your kids, and they will eventually follow. If not now, in the future. Another one that I want to touch base on is just, even if it's just you against you. And I think ultimately we're all, we've all fallen victim to the victim mentality at one point or another, or have seen ourselves kind of like fall derailed because of negative self-talk or whatever else you got going on within your, between your ears, I should say. But ultimately, use that as fuel. Like, hey, if you have doubts or insecurities about anything in this given environment or time, this is your time to double down and investigate those and come to terms with, where you may need improvement as an individual. You have the downtime, or some of us do, I should say. Not all of us have that luxury at this time. Obviously, firefighters, police officers, nurses, and doctors and that such. They're definitely out there hustling hard and really, really grinding for every single one of us, and we all appreciate that tremendously. But for those of us who I don't want to look at the situation as maybe a negative and say unfortunate to not be working. This is an opportunity for you to fortunately have the opportunity to utilize this time and improve upon yourself and your insecurities in places that you may need to work on. One thing that often, may get, slip between the cracks is opportunity. And it's one of those things where I always would say this in the past to people that I've come across: what you seek, you shall find. So if you're looking for a fight, believe me, you will find one. If you're looking for struggle, you will create one. If you're looking for Bigfoot, who knows? You might find them. I don't know. But essentially, I've always said that whatever you seek, you shall find. So in this time, it's definitely one of those moments where you want to avoid the woe is me mentality and seek positivity, seek opportunity, seek these things out while you have the time on your hands. We have these phones in front of us, and I've mentioned it in previous videos with social media platforms and everything at our fingertips. We can go down the woe is me corridors, or we can look for the light at the end of the tunnel, or we can start, educating ourselves on whether it's, stocks, investing in real estate, or the multitude of things out there that may or may not interest you. And you can find that could get you ahead in life and really push forward. And you could use this 2-week time period, 3-week, 4-week, 5-week time period, where instead of working your 8-hour shift, you're working 8 hours towards yourself. And investing that into yourself. And I think that is going to see, or what you'll see moving forward, is exponential growth. And it's one of the things that when you look back, you'll be so happy that you did. And I can't emphasize that enough. Another thing I wanted to go over is just the willingness to learn. if you find yourself trapped in that mentality or in a negative environment and you're around, you might feel a little bit stir crazy. Maybe distract yourself with that positivity. You know what I mean? Like seek it out, seek out that opportunity, and be willing to admit to yourself, and you don't have to do it to everyone, but you can at least admit it to yourself. You're, like I said before, maybe your shortcomings or areas that you need to improve upon, and then seek out ways in which you can correct those or improve upon them. You know, it's not an overnight success story. It's not an overnight change. You don't just flip the switch and you're a new person the next day. It typically takes, hours and hours and hours and minutes and hours, days, whatever it is, just years for you to change and work on those things that you may or may not be weaknesses at this time. It doesn't mean they always have to be that way. I can't stress that enough. I could go back to my own experiences because that's what I lean heavily on, and recognizing, behavioral patterns where you're like, gotta improve upon that. I have, that's basically, my weaknesses are now, I don't want to say all of them are now strengths, but some of where I was weak, I made sure to shore that up and work on that internally. And then obviously exercise it externally in the real world. So, and these are things that we can do at the click of a button, whether it's, through the social media platforms, your phone, whatever it is. You can seek ways, you can order books while we're sitting home. We have the time to read, we have the time to listen to a podcast, we have the time to do a ton of different things, and all of which I think will be beneficial for you, and definitely maybe make a bigger impact on the world while we're at it. If you have time to do what I'm doing right now, even, setting up a video, putting it out there in the world. Not everyone's going to follow you. Not everyone's going to like what you're saying. Not everyone's going to agree with you. Not everyone's going to be on the same mindset or in that same type of, wavelength, if you will, or be able to see it the way you're seeing it. But in time, maybe that person will come around. We growing up, I remember arguing, and the argument from ignorance, which I'm sure we're all guilty of at one point or another. But, I remember arguments ensuing, and, I would argue till I'm blue in the face. And it may not have been right away. Sometimes it was. But, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years. I look back on those situations and I'm like, they had a point, or maybe they were right. Or I start to see things from a different angle, because perspective, I believe, is a very, very powerful tool and ultimately paints the picture in which you see the world. Hey guys, I just wanted to, close by saying, find that motivation, stay positive, seek opportunity, use the time, don't let the time use you. And, by the end of 2020, we'll look back and be glad we took this time and we took advantage of this time. So again, a like and subscribe goes a long way. I look forward to putting out more content for you guys, and hopefully this information helps. Enjoy your day.